Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to be going over Article 6. As you can see, if you go back to the last lesson, I actually covered Article 4 and Article 5. This one I'm going to cover Article 6 of the Constitution and Article 7 because they're pretty short. So I'll cover, this is going to be Article 6 and Article 7 of the U.S. Constitution, and then after that we'll get into the amendments. So here we go. Article 6, all debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or law of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath of affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. So what does that mean? So this is Article 6. It's telling you that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, okay? It's telling you that no matter what the state legislators or the state executive, the governors, any of those, they have to abide, and state legislature cannot go against anything that is against the Constitution, okay? So it goes back to Marbury versus Madison. Marbury versus Madison says any law made contrary to this document is void, okay? That's already been established. So that's Article 6. So let's go to Article 7. Article 7 says, the ratification of the Convention of the 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution between the states, so ratifying the same. Done in convention of the unanimous consent of the state present of the 17th day of September in the year of our Lord 1787, and the independence of the United States of America, the 12th, in witness thereof, we have hereunto subscribed our names. And George Washington presided, and deputy from Virginia, and you can see the several names. If you get a copy of the Constitution, you can see the several names. They signed the documentation, they signed it. So we're going to start getting into the amendments of the United States Constitution here soon, right? And those are going to be very important because I'm going to go step by step in each amendment, and we're going to cover that. So let's go back to Article 6. So Article 7 is the ratification of the Convention of the States and the signing of it, okay? Article 6 talks about how the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and not any state or executive branch or legislator can change anything that's in the Constitution. They can't make laws contrary to it. Also, listen to the last part of this. But no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. So you have to, you have to swear an oath of affirmation. You have to raise your right hand. I swear, I support, defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You have to swear an oath of affirmation. That's an oath of affirmation saying that you will support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So what did that mean? So that's what I want you to talk about, okay? So when you respond to me, tell me about what does that oath of affirmation mean? Also, tell me why there's not a religious test, because we have freedom. We're going to get into that in the First Amendment, but we have freedoms to choose, right? So we didn't want a religious test because we didn't want a specific church to be able to dictate to us like England did, because the Church of England was ran by the king. The king ran everything, and you had to have a religious test. A lot of English subjects back then, and so they didn't want it. They didn't want that. They wanted to stay away from the religious test, so that you could, it didn't matter whether you were Protestant or a Catholic or whatever your denomination was. You didn't have to be a certain denomination to be able to be in government, or for that matter, any religion. So there is no religious test to swear an affirmation. You do have to swear an affirmation that you will support and defend this Constitution if you hold public office. So again, let me know what that oath of affirmation means, and the religious test. Again, God bless you. Have a fantastic day and stay safe.